Hey guys, it's your boy Jordy Jordan, and I wanted to sit here and talk about something just happened recently. A movie star named Robin Williams was found hanging in his California home. I think it's California. I gotta say, I'm not the biggest Robin Williams fan, so I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I looked at most of his movies in awe and things. Like I found most of his movies kind of forced. Like I think the last Robin Williams movie I watched was God, I don't remember the name of the movie, but basically he bought a big old tour bus type thing, and then he went on a road trip with his family, and he kept messing up and things. But regardless, I liked him as an actor. I didn't like him as a comedian. I felt that most of his movies as a comedian were very forced, but most of his roles where he was serious were some of the best work I've ever seen acting wise. Like my favorite Robin Williams movie was most likely going to be Good Will Hunting, where he played as counselor. He felt so much like a human in that movie that it touched me as a person, and he felt like a person I'd like to talk to. Basically, I like the bearded Robin Williams movies. Anytime Robin Williams had a beard, he usually had a pretty good serious role. Another one of my favorite movies was Jumanji. Jumanji was a really good movie that Robin Williams was in. And most of the people about Facebook has been pouring in. My own personal Facebook, about every other post is something to do with Robin Williams or something about his life. It's obviously made a huge effect in the community. And a lot of it is because signs of depression has been brought to light. Robin ended up killing himself because of depression, and he used things his whole career to kind of he's always been a depressed person. You could tell it. I mean, I'm just going through hindsight here. I don't know the guy personally, but even like in his, like I was just the other day I was driving my truck, and I popped it on Opie and Anthony channel, which is not Opie and Anthony anymore, but they were doing a Robin Williams stand-up special instead of the actual Opie and Anthony programming. And I was listening to it, and he was doing a bit about alcoholism. And most of you that probably hadn't followed Robin most of his career, which I don't follow, but I know this personally. He's always been in and out of alcoholism. He was an alcoholic at a young age. He had an alcoholic father. He just recently was in rehab for alcoholism, and it's an epidemic about the society we live in. There's a stigma that follows me even to this day about faking a suicide, because I said something about it on Twitter, and realistically I thought about it multiple times in the last couple years, mainly because you're not trying to run from things, you're just tired of pain. And pain is relative. Pain is not something that you can put on a scale. A pain for a rich person might be eating hamburger instead of steak. A pain for a rich person might be having to drive a certain type of car. It's relative to your situation. And just like bankers, you see you guys on Wall Street that will jump out of windows and kill themselves when they lose all their money and they got to start back at the bottom. Well, the bottom is actually better than most people have it in like Africa that don't even have clean drinking water. But pain is relative. To him, life isn't worth living anymore, whereas somebody else's situation will be greater. A lot of people are probably looking at Robin Williams' life and thinking, man, he had money, he had a house, he had a family, he had a beautiful daughter. He had the life. He had everything that everybody ever strives for. And I can kind of relate to him in this aspect. I started out growing up poor. Then we moved up into middle class. And then YouTube blew up for a while, and I would consider myself upper middle class. And now I'm going back down to middle class. Or maybe going back down to poor. Who knows? But just the transition alone for me was emotionally a thing that was very hard to deal with, to see everything that you built crumble around you, to see people revolting against you, to see threads of people that hated you. And I feel like Robin Williams went down the same pathway. I mean, like, I don't even remember the name of that movie I watched. It's like Tour Bus or something. I don't know. I don't remember it, because to me it wasn't that good of a movie. When I seen a Robin Williams movie that was a comedy, I automatically labeled that movie as bad, and I could see in his side, or in his way, that he probably seen that and just concentrated just like that. Like take me for example. I've lost a lot of weight. I have. I've lost lots of weight. I mean, most people, when they set out to lose weight, they're setting out to lose 10 to 15 pounds. I've lost over 50. And I'm not even started yet. I've lost over 50 and you can barely tell a difference in me. I have to lose 150 pounds. The scope of what I'm trying to do is humongous. And I try not to think about it. I try to break it down 5 or 10 pounds at a time. And I have lots of support. I have thousands upon thousands of people that support me. It's mind-blowing how many people that support me. If you put everybody, even now, in the same room that watch my videos, it would fill a school auditorium. But you don't see that because you think, man, that's 9,000 people. And you correlate 9,000 people with what other people are doing, which are in the millions, and it's like, oh man, I'm small beans and washed up. And to me, it's unfair criticism for myself, and it's a unbalanced point of view. But you have it, and I'm sure alcoholism plus the failure of work-related items. I'm not going to say Robin Williams was a failure, but he's by no means made any blockbuster movies recently. He's never made a movie like, wow. And I feel like a lot of that is because he kept going back to comedy. I see another guy going down the same route, and it's Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey keeps coming back to try to make these comedy movies, and he had some good ones. I mean, like some of my favorite comedy movies ever is like Dumb and Dumber and Liar Liar. Those are great movies, but I think Jim Carrey has moved on as an actor from comedy. And you get to the point where it's time to move on. Like one of the actors that did it best was like Marky Mark. Mark Wahlberg had a rap career. He had a successful rap career for a while with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. But after that faded out, he moved on. After he moved on. Well, matter of fact, he was an underwear model before his rap career, I think. It might have been before or after, but one of the two. And then he became an actor. He kind of moved on with the times. And a lot of people are stuck, and like I'm stuck. I was stuck in the Call of Duty rut forever. Like I didn't know what to do with my channel. I wasn't happy with myself. I didn't feel like my life was worth living. I didn't have anybody interested in me. I mean, I'd wake up. I'm like, why do I even have a fucking phone? I don't even use it. I use it to look at Facebook. I can go get a tablet and don't have to pay a phone bill. And you think about these things, and it depresses you, and it makes you want to cry yourself to sleep at night. And you do think about things like suicide because it's like, fuck it, why do I need to be living? Nobody cares about me. But the end result is somebody could care about you. And that's why I've never done it. I don't know, dude. I'm just saying, the light at the end of the tunnel could be you for somebody. We'll give up hope.